This is Keith McDaniel, and today is December the 17th, 2025, and I am at the home of Mr. Jim Young here in Oak Ridge. Mr. Young, I appreciate you taking time to talk to me.
We're glad to do it.
Well, good. Now, one of the reasons that we did this interview is because we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to talk with you. And is it my understanding you just recently had a birthday?
Yes, sir.
Now, how old did you turn?
103 years old.
103 years old.
I was born 1922.
Is that right? Oh my goodness. Well, we're just going to talk about you and your life and the things that you've done over the years, and so let's just start right at the beginning. Why don't you tell me where you were born and raised, something about your family.
I was raised in Dixon County, that's west of Nashville, on a farm, a very poor farm. All of them was poor back in those days. And I went to Michigan, went to work when I was 18.
Is that right? So you grew up on a farm, huh?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, so your parents, your dad was a farmer, is that right?
A farmer, farmer all of his life.
Is that right?
And
what did he farm?
Well, he had a few cattle, hogs, and sheep, and raised some hay and corn, and farmed by mules back in those days.
Is that right?
Then the tractors come along, and you'd see a vehicle go by about every week. And now they got big homes in there, and you wouldn't even know the place.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, how many kids were there? How many workers did he have for the farm?
Well, I had 4 boys and 2 girls. Plus me, that'd be 7.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you grew up working the farm, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
What were some of the things that you did?
Well, you just about had to do everything. All the rest of the farmers was on starvation, depression time, and you just tried to make enough to live on. That was the Depression, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Gas, 20 cents, maybe a little over 20 cents a gallon. And cars, one was very seldom. You'd see a vehicle, even if he's in the city, there wasn't too many.
Yeah.
And loaf of bread cost about 16 cents. And
But I guess living on the farm, that was good for you. I mean, at least you could grow food and
you had plenty to eat, and my mother was awful good cook. And
so where were you in the lineup as far as the kids go? Were you the oldest, the youngest?
I was the youngest. I didn't have to do a whole lot of hard work. They looked after me.
Yeah.
And but I guess I was pretty fortunate. I had 3 brothers worked in Michigan, and our jobs was like now. If you got to be top person someplace, even if it's a low-paid job, you was doing all right. And I went to work in July of '40, the day I got 18, at 75 cents an hour. And after 6 weeks, 80 cents. And that was big money.
Oh, yeah.
And I worked at Ford Motor Company at the River Rouge plant. And there's only 86,000 people working there under one fence.
Wow.
And they made everything they made the whole car from start to finish.
What car was it?
Well, it was a 1940 Ford made a standard Ford. That was the cheapest car. and my brother bought one for $512.
Really?
Then short time later, my other brother bought one $600. It was called a Super Ford. It had headlights on the fenders, and everybody would want these lights to put on their vehicles, and they'd be lined up each morning wanting you to give them lights.
Is that right? Hey, I want to get back there, but let's go back. I want to go back to the farm for a little bit. Did you go to school? Where did you go to school, and how'd you do with school?
Well, I didn't do too good. Went to Dixon High School, and I played basketball, and I thought that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And Frank Clement, the governor, was a senior when I was a freshman.
Oh, was that right?
And now I didn't really know him, but his sister Annabelle, I knew she was a sophomore, and I knew her well.
Oh, did you?
While I was in school.
Yeah.
And
she went on to make a name for herself too, didn't she?
Well, they said she run the state.
Yeah.
When he was governor.
Yeah, that's true.
And
so you graduated and you went to Michigan to get that job.
Yeah.
And you said your brothers were working there already?
Yeah, they was already, three of them was working there.
What was that like? Was that
two of them. Oh, I enjoyed it, but that's the hardest work. Now, the two, no, there was three. See,
that's okay.
Gabby. Two of them had exceptionally good jobs, and the other one was like me. I was on final assembly, and I worked on the Ford line a short time, and it transferred me over on the Mercury line. And the whistle would blow to start to work, and most of the time you'd want to work a little, get up and not take all your break on account of you couldn't keep up. But that was hard work, but it was good money.
Yeah.
And back in that day, they pay you in cash, small envelope, and at one time, every 2 weeks. And at one time, cash money, I was drawing $52.52. I'd get a 50-cent piece and 2 pennies.
Is that right? Now, about what year was that?
1940.
1940.
Yeah, that's when I started, and it was probably 6-8 months after that.
So how long did you do that? How long were you there?
Well, I worked there till about April of 43.
Oh, okay.
About almost 4 years, 3 years. And the reason I quit, I decided I better make a move. And you had to have military clearance. If you was of draft age, you couldn't just go in and say you was going to quit and go across the street and get another job.
Yeah.
They'd check and see if you had that military clearance. And I went in one morning, and I was about 10 o'clock, go to work at 7 or 8, I forgot which. And I told the boss, fibbed to him just a little bit. I told the boss I'd been to my draft board, and I was going to be drafted shortly. And I was wanting that, release.
Yeah.
And he says, I've got work to do right now, so find you a seat. Well, they didn't have lunchrooms back in those days. And says, So when he got back up there, we walked about a good mile. And this guy weighed about 275 pounds, real short.
Yeah.
And had a bow tie on. We went in his office, and he really didn't look up. And finally he said, what can we do for you? and my boss told him that this guy's was going to go in service and he's wanting a military leave of absence. And the only thing the guy said, he says, "Is he a good worker?" And my boss says, "One of the best."
Uh-huh.
He says, "Give him that release." And so I got it and come back to Tennessee, and I thought the pay would be increased around Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
but it was there's low pay.
Yeah.
And so this recruiter come along. Well, before that, there's two guys been up here, but they wouldn't work on a wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And so they was talking about how big a place this was. And a recruiter come by and he was talking about the job, secret and all that. And if it succeeded, everybody would have work that worked there. And says, now if it's not, we'll all go home, including me.
Yeah.
And I come up here, hitchhiked to Nashville.
Oh, did you?
Had that wired up suitcase, and they'd pay you to transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it wasn't much, $12, $15. And Mr. Glennon, he was one of the labor relation men, and he was hiring in, and he went by train through Chattanooga. And about 2 weeks after I was there, he was standing in line up there, and I stopped and talked to him. I said, "What are you doing this line?" And he knew how I'd got up there. He says, "Get in this line." But he says, "Have you been paid yet?" And I says, "No." He says, "Just get behind me." He says, "I rode a Pullman up here, went through Chattanooga, and got about $30 more, I guess."
Uh-huh.
I forgot the amount, but it wasn't a whole lot of money. And so he told the lady that was filing the papers, says he's with me, says put down the same thing for him. And
there you were.
Yeah, that was my old crazy experience.
So what year was that? 43?
May of 44.
44. So
Yeah.
the war was still going on.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So what was now? Were you single at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you got to Oak Ridge, tell me about your impressions. What all did you see? And
Well, I rode a bus into Knoxville and got in there. I believe it was on Sunday evening. And boy, that gay street, you couldn't walk for the people.
yeah.
And I went to where I was supposed to go, and they had me a room at a hotel there, and says, "Now in the morning I'll be down here on Church Street, so and so place." And we went through Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And come out, and so we stopped someplace here in Oak Ridge, and they done their part, and then taking us on the K-25, and it was all here in Oak Ridge was dirt roads.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen so many cranes and trucks, and they was building homes and office buildings. Now they had the Doe building built,
Mm-hmm.
and town site was just about completed.
Yeah.
And had two cafeterias, one Jefferson, one up at Central at town site.
Uh-huh.
And that was the only two places you could get something to eat.
Yeah.
And one at Jefferson, I was down there next to Wedford's funeral home. They had what I lived in.
Dormitory?
Yeah, that was surrounded all the way around. And up here to hospital, they was covered up with it. But anyway, at shift change, at the Jefferson cafeteria, excuse me, Jefferson cafeteria, there's 17 or 18 cashiers at every shift change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
that's about that and Central cafeteria, the only place to get something to eat, wasn't it?
Yeah, Central and Jefferson cafeteria. And
I guess they were still building K-25 at that point, weren't they?
well, now the 1401 building, that's the maintenance building. It was built.
Okay.
And Ford Bacon and Davis was a contractor. And the rest of it, the process building, that's the old biggest 40-acre building.
Yeah, the U.
Yeah, that's a U. 40-acre building. They just had started the framework on the northeast corner.
Okay.
And like in zero weather, they pouring that concrete 2 o'clock in the morning, same as 8 o'clock in the daytime.
Oh, yeah.
And had all kind of people working, maintenance people from here, Oak Ridge to, well, all the other plants was the same way.
Yeah.
And
so what was your job? What was your first job there when you got there?
well, my first job when I got there was I was a guard.
Oh, okay.
And about the first 3 or 4 weeks, it didn't do anything. Because they didn't have a guard department. Ford Bacon and Davis was doing that.
Yeah.
But anyway, after we got down there and started off, Wheat School, the old Wheat School was there, and Carbide used that for employment office and training department, and they had one gas pump, a small grocery store, and a Masonic lodge, and I believe that was a church or two, and I thought to myself, this is going to be a rough place. But after a few weeks, we'd taken over 1401 building and start guarding it.
Yeah. Now, was Happy Valley, was it built at that time?
It was, at that time, they built a lot on it, a lot of it after I got there. In other words, as you're going towards Kingston, you know where the Blair Road is there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right on past that on the left.
On the left, yeah.
They had a skating rink. This was back near the traffic light. Then after you go down to the first road to the right, there was a big grocery store almost right across the street. And they had a grocery store, finally got up where they could sell beer. Had a big cafeteria. And that was a good place to eat.
Yeah.
And
some of them say that Happy Valley was kind of a rough place because you had so many construction workers and such coming in there. Well,
I guess it was pretty rough. Now the guards coming up, I can't think of the road now, where the Blair Road is there. There was 2 dormitories for guards, and they was free.
Oh, okay.
But I never did live down there.
Oh, you didn't?
No, you could live in the dormitories up here in Oak Ridge, a double room would cost you $20 a month. That was first class.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the linen each day.
Mm-hmm.
And I never seen so many workers. And a single room would cost $15.
Mm.
And I'd always get a buddy, and we'd live in a double room.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, that part I thought was pretty hard to beat.
I would imagine there was a lot of, they said at that time there's a lot of young people like yourself.
Oh,
They were just all over the place. They said it was a great time to be a young person.
yeah, it was the youngest place at one time in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
And now this was kind of funny. In a way, they'd be around the dormitory, some guy, dressed up,
Uh-huh.
and he wouldn't talk, or he might talk a little bit. And you'd go in the next week or the next 3 or 4 weeks, and there he'd be just blind drunk. One guy was from Cincinnati, and his mother and dad come down there and got him,
Uh-huh.
and said that was the longest he'd been sober.
Is that right?
And I often wondered whatever happened to him.
Uh-huh.
Then at the plant, it was one guy owned a funeral home in North Carolina, and I thought he was clean cut, and he was. But when he started drinking, he just couldn't quit.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was sad on all of those people.
Yeah, but wasn't it? It was dry back then, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
How did they get the liquor?
Well, now this was later on.
Okay.
Oakdale, the first year or two they bring it in, mostly I believe from Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Or Chattanooga, they drove. You could get up in the morning around 5 o'clock or 6 and ride a bus to Chattanooga, then get your whiskey, then ride the bus back and be home by 1 o'clock.
Is that right? That seems like a lot of trouble to get some whiskey, but I guess, any port in a storm, right?
Right.
So.
And they had all kind of people here. And but if you go to work, they'd be building homes, and when you get back, the whole street would be covered up with homes.
Oh, yeah.
And at the plant, that went on for good. Even after the war was over, they still building on to the plant.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Tell me, who were some of the people that not I want to talk about your work, but also want to talk about just the people kind of you got to know that maybe you became friendly with, or kind of unusual characters that you would run into. I know you've mentioned a couple already, but
they was all kind here.
Yeah. And they were from all over, weren't they?
Oh, they was from here, from every place in the book. Then the construction unions couldn't get enough union people, like electricians or plumbers, or they were shorter plumbers more than any, I think. And they'd bring their whole union from, say, New York or Detroit, and that group they brought from Detroit, I got acquainted with them, and they told me if I'd quit, if I wanted to learn the plumbing business, he'd put me where I'd have to work, and I'd know, or he could just put me on a truck riding a truck. From the maintenance building, they'd bring that pipe out. I guess there's probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 trucks. Just all they did was just hold that pipe.
Well, there's a lot of pipe that they had to install, wasn't it?
All of it was a pipe.
Yeah.
And I intended to, but fool around never did. Now, one thing that caught my eye, one morning in the Knoxville Journal and also the Sentinel, the construction people got raised to $1.62.5 an hour. And that, I forgot what they was making, but that was big money.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
My goodness. So you worked in as a guard at K-25.
Oh, yes, sir.
How long did you do that? And tell me about that kind of job.
Well, I never did mount to much. I worked there 41 years.
Oh, really?
It had the same job for 37 years.
Is that right?
Yeah. I listed as maintenance and supplies.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, what it was, something come up that the bosses didn't want to do, or anybody else had put it on me.
Well, isn't that the way it is?
Yeah. But I made out exceptionally good.
Uh-huh.
And well, you was talking about the barrier plant.
Mm-hmm.
See, they shut that, when they shut that barrier plant, they didn't let any furniture leave or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those ladies that worked there, they couldn't get good furniture. And I didn't tell them where I got this furniture, but I had a guy that worked shift work as a guard. I said, go over and get me a good chair.
Is that right?
And, but then when they got rid of the equipment, they'd store it over in the old process building,
Mm-hmm.
the big 40-acre building. They just take it in and throw it down and build a fence that wouldn't keep a 6-month-old baby in.
Really?
And the security guards would check it. Then the bosses would look at it. Then I'd go in the morning and go in there and look and see what I was supposed to. Most time I'd be gone, and I just read the morning report, daily report.
Uh-huh.
And then I'd have to get to maintenance to do this or do that. But I'll tell you this, over in 27, the construction guys there's about 8, 10 of them. I knew them all anyway, and they hadn't been doing anything. And I was wanting some work done for that maintenance, for the barrier plant.
Uh-huh.
And they wasn't doing nothing, just sitting there. And they said, what are you doing back over here? And I told them what I wanted. They said, you want us to do that? And I said, I don't know. And I questioned, I said, what about your supervision? They said, nobody will never know it.
Is that right?
And they had enough good lumber and all, and I showed them where, wasn't too big of a place, and they said, we'd rather be doing that than sitting here doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the people was keeping them on the payroll rather than to lay them off.
Yeah.
Didn't have to call them back.
Sure.
And I said, what are you going to do if the bosses come by? And one of them says, we just tell them that our boss said to build it. I says, go at it.
There you go. My goodness.
And I guess it was a good 10 days. some of my people wised up, and they says, "Who in the world?" And I pretend like I didn't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was good lumber, and the lumber and all belonged to Russ to start with.
Oh.
And,
so I bet you saw a lot out there in those years you were out there, didn't you?
Yeah.
What are some of the big things that you remember?
Well, there was a lot of people trying to commit suicide.
Really?
And some there was more succeeded than you'd think. Me and my neighbor across the street went to the ball game and on Saturdays, and so it was about the middle of the week. He hung himself.
Really?
And he seemed all right and all. He was a maintenance mechanic, and that brought on a lot of excitement. Mm-hmm. And what was it? Was it a lot of pressure? Well, I don't. There was a lot of pressure for people to get set up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as far as the pressure, if you're just a worker, they'd growl a little bit, but I always thought this pretty hard to beat.
Yeah. I guess Union Carbide ran it most of the years you were there, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, when I first started in, it was called Carbide and Carbon Corporation, the 4C company. Mm-hmm. Then they had 2 or 3 different names, and it got to be Carbide. And I liked it pretty good. In fact, I liked it real good. Uh-huh. My boss just didn't fool with me, and that made it much better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I could have been set up quite a few times, but I had to go on shift work and only be on days 2 days a week.
Oh.
2 days a month.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I just stayed where I was.
You know, I started a new job once, and I told the people, I said, the good thing about working here is they leave you alone.
Yeah.
I said, the bad thing about working here is they leave you alone. You can't get any help when you need it.
This is kind of workshop. Up at one portal there, this guy's in a wheelchair and this lady guard. I looked out one morning. Well, I worked quite a bit of overtime. Mm-hmm. And the only shift I could work was a midnight shift. And so I was working, but I wasn't supposed to have been up there. My job was over with, but I decided I'd just go up and see what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
And I looked out, and this guy in this wheelchair, the gate didn't stop the button, didn't stop the gate. And he turned upside down, his wheels was a wheel. Oh. And so they built a new portal for handicapped people to come through. Mm-hmm. And my chief, the only 2 people I was supposed to report to was my chief, straight day captain. And the chief called me in there one day and he says, "I've got a special job for you." And I could always tell when he'd rub his hands like that when he's wanting to do something out of the ordinary. Mm-hmm. And Gordon Fee was a lab over the lab up there. And people up there didn't like him at all. He must have been an awful odd person. And he says, "I want you to go." He says, "You know the new portal up there?" I says, "Yeah, but I haven't even been up there." And he cussed a little bit. He says, "You haven't?" I said, "Nobody told me nothing about it. I didn't even know there's a building." But it's simple anyway. And he says, I'm not a-going, says, you're going to have to go. And I went up there to the portal I was supposed to meet him at and told the guys, I says, now, Gordon Fee's going to be out here in a minute. I want you to straighten up. I didn't have no power at all.
Yeah.
And so he come out there, and I explained the inside there, just push the button. Up there at the portal was at the east of us there. And explained that open the gate and close it and shut it, and that was about all it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I showed him the pedals inside. I thought I did a good job. And when he got there, I explained that to him and went on up to the new portal. And but told him, I says, any other questions you? And he said, no. But when he got back to the office, he called the chief up and he says, I want you to send somebody up there that knows something.
Is that right?
And the chief laughed, and he was bad to cuss.
Uh-huh.
And he says, well, I got one thing about it. I'm not going to go. But anyway, when he was over the labs, they transferred him as plant manager at Y12, and that cleared that up.
I'll tell you a funny story about Gordon Fee.
Yeah.
I've interviewed Gordon several times, and I tell this in front of Gordon because he's heard me tell it. I said I went to interview Gordon, and I asked him the first question, and 45 minutes later I got to ask him the second question because Gordon's a talker. So anyway.
Yeah.
Huh. What about other things that have happened in your career out there that you can remember? Things.
Well, at one time, when I first got in the supply room, they'd run off, well, it'd be about 60 people leave.
Mm-hmm.
And 30 of them, they'd catch them asleep, and the other 30 would have better jobs or,
Yeah.
wouldn't stay.
Mm-hmm.
And one time there, everybody had the power to fire somebody. And I was a corporal, and I was the only person that I'm proud of this record.
Okay.
I'm the only person that never did cause anybody to get fired.
Is that right? My goodness.
And one old boy down there, I'd chew him out, and they said that the reason he left, he went to California. He had a wife and family,
Mm-hmm.
and he evidently went with some other lady, and he just quit on his own.
Yeah.
But I never did do much either way.
Yeah. My goodness. Now, let me ask you, did you meet your wife?
Yeah, this guy that worked with me, his wife was a RN,
Mm-hmm.
and she was wanting me to meet his friend.
Yeah.
And he was from Illinois, and his wife was from Indiana, but I forgot where. One was from one place and one was from another. So we was playing basketball, plant league basketball, and one day I said, he's wanting me to let his wife mine come up there.
Yeah.
I said, bring her on.
There you go.
That's the worst mistake I ever made. Yeah. Oh, we got married and had, I guess, pretty good marriage.
Uh-huh.
got that Alzheimer's and passed away in 2011.
Oh.
That was the year, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what year did you get married?
Let me see. I done forgot now. And we didn't court but a short time. No, we got married in 51.
51, okay.
Because they had the big layoff at K25, but made out pretty good.
Now, did you stay out at K25 your whole career?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what year did you retire?
July of 85.
So this was right when they were shutting everything down, wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Right before.
Yeah.
Now, did you see the signs of that coming? I mean, it didn't happen just all of a sudden. You could kind of see that they were heading that direction, right?
Well, for a long time, they'd keep it a running, or they said it was a running. I never did know anything about it.
Yeah.
But they had to keep it running. They didn't have the know-how to shut it down.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
And I guess that was right.
Mm-hmm.
And but then they shut it down, and they didn't get that material out. That's what everybody said, including the engineers.
Mm-hmm.
And if it had cleared it all out, it wouldn't have cost them so much to get the material out.
Wouldn't it cost them billions of dollars to clean that up, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
Now, did you have any, when you were working there, did y'all have any like big politicians, special visitors? Tell me about that.
Them doggone politicians, they'd have them in there all the time. And like, they'd call me in there about, say, 2 o'clock in the evening. They say, so-and-so's going to be down here tomorrow or in the next few days, and you've got to do this and do that. We'd have signs. I'd have to get signs made, the route is going, mm-hmm. and all of that. And it was, I liked my job pretty good after I got used to it.
Yeah.
Then the people from home, now this was pretty interesting.
Okay.
People from home would come to work in the mornings, and if they had a cat or any kind of animal, they'd just bring him, leave him in the car. Then during the day, or let him out 10, and they had to get rid of them. And they come to me, and I had to get some cages made for them to catch them.
Oh, huh.
And we'd catch. Oh, I'd make the cage. I didn't do no catching them because they did that at night. I'd say 40 or 50, just like rabbit cages.
Really?
Yeah.
So people would just come and let their animals out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then laugh about it.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any run-ins with bosses that?
Well, I didn't talk about if I had a run-in with a boss.
Yeah.
When I'd fit those guys up in uniform, I'd say, this is not a bad job, and if you can't beat it, don't throw off on it. And see, what else would I tell them? Oh, I says, yeah, and if you have trouble with your boss today, make like you're glad to see him tomorrow.
There you go.
But my bosses never did they'd want things that I wasn't supposed to do for them.
Yeah.
But I never did. I think I was pretty smart that way. I never did tell them no if I wouldn't tell something on the other one,
Yeah.
I just wouldn't know.
Sounds to me like you were kind of the go-to guy for special projects. Were you?
Well, at times I worked hard, and other times I just didn't do much.
Well, I guess we're all like that to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Well, let's talk about you. You said you met your wife, and then you didn't date very long, and then you got married.
Well, we attended this. They attended this ball game we was playing, and wound up going to the drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
which drugstore?
Down at Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yeah, they won, but all these Williams, but Jefferson and one more up at Town Site, but I forgot now what the name of it was. And we made it good.
Mm-hmm.
I used to drink a little bit, and she didn't like that drinking at all.
Well, you know, now where did you live when you first got married?
Oh, well, the buses was running one right after the other, and you had to apply for a house.
Yeah.
But you had to be married to get a house. And Mr. Carden was a head man over it, and he wouldn't budge a bit. So I told him my mother was going to move up here. And I got a 2-bedroom furnished over on North Seneca.
Uh-huh.
And the furniture was pretty rough. In fact, it was rough. And I paid, let me see, I believe $39 a month for utilities. You didn't have to pay no utilities or anything, and lights and everything furnished, garbage. Wow. That sounds pretty high, though it might have been. Well, it wasn't over $39.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but how much were you making back then?
I'd say I started off, I think, at 90 cents, and I'd say about $1.10.
Mm-hmm.
And you could ride buses free for a long time.
Yeah.
And then it got where you had a coupon. I think that would cost $0.10.
Mm-hmm.
But for quite a while, I'm not sure where we was riding up cattle cars to work or not. They had so many people, the bus didn't have enough buses to haul everybody to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that was free.
Yeah.
And I liked the dormitories. They was nice.
Now, how long did you stay in that house on Seneca?
Well, I stayed a pretty good while. Then we moved over on Illinois. I'm not sure. I'd say a good 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you a good one on this.
That's all right.
I won't call their names because I think some of the kids still live.
Okay.
The let me see, the kitchen, my kitchen looked right down on the next door neighbor's kitchen.
Uh-huh.
And I believe they had 4, maybe 5 kids. And that one night went by, no 2 of them would eat at the same time. and one would go in there and eat, and the cat would be in the food. And they just run that cat off.
Is that right?
Keep eating.
My goodness.
And he'd come out and go to work at 12 the next morning with that white shirt on. And good. He was good. They was good people.
All right, then we're going to pause real quick, okay?
Okay.
And we're going to take a break. I'm going to stop this because I need to change the battery in my camera.
The powerhouse, when it was being built, and after it, I guess it was completed, I forgot to tell you the truth. There was around 60 guards that worked at the powerhouse, and they couldn't get them all down there, and they got a city bus to haul them each time. Mm-hmm. Just think, 60 cars guarding one place.
Yeah.
And the most we ever had was 1,200.
Really?
And they had that mounted patrol and all of that.
Now, were the guards, was it for the whole reservation, or was that just for K-25?
Just for K-25.
Okay.
Oh, they no telling how many they had.
Oh, yeah.
It was a rough job back in those early days.
Now, did you carry a gun?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 Did you ever have to, like, arrest anybody, or?
Well,
what were some of the incidents that you had to deal with?
Yes and no. This guy, I was trying to think of his name. He was from Petros and worked construction. And, they had to throw their, whatever they call it, their stuff in when they threw work to know that they haven't left early.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, they was supervision or tied up or something. This was in the early days. And they sent me up there, said there's a drunk up there. Well, I got up there, and this guy was from Petros, weighed about 140 pounds, just blind drunk. And I halfway knew him. And I thought, what in the world should I do? And one or two other guys says, now we live right near him, carpool, and says if you let him go, we'll throw his whatever it was, and we'll just take him home. And so I fumbled around there a while, and I says, the timekeeper says, yes, says that's the way they work this, and I did that. And my bosses never did say a thing.
Yeah. So what were most of the incidences that you had to deal with? Was it most of the people getting drunk, or anybody stealing stuff? What were things like that?
Well, on that stealing, that was something that some of them guys come in there each day early thinking about what they could steal to take home. But the plant pertaining to the guards, they didn't want nobody in there except who belonged there. Yeah. And they was a lot stricter on stuff like that than it would be stealing something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It was security, wasn't it? And
they got a supplementary badge, 2 badges. In other words, you'd have to pick up a badge when you went in, and if you give somebody the wrong badge, and the wrong people got a hold of it, they'd give you 3 days off and sometime more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Then if it didn't get too far out, they'd call me a lot of time to look them up. the captains would look them up and not say nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure that everybody, make sure everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing and not doing the things they weren't supposed to be, right?
Yeah. I hate to see someone get some time off when they really need the money.
Yeah, sure, exactly. I'm trying to fix battery real quick. All right. There we go. What other kind of stories do you have from those days that you think are interesting?
Oh, I forget most of them.
Well, I know. I understand.
I'm buying your house on Wellington.
Oh, when they sold this government houses out, I lived in a multi-unit job. Mm-hmm. And the government didn't sell those, put them up for the highest bidder. And I was wanting to have priority on a single house. Mm-hmm. So I went to work the next morning, and I thought, well, I'm going to, people I know that lives in Oak Ridge, I'm going to say, are you going to buy your house or not? And there's an old gentleman down there in receiving named Mr. Veazey. And I believe he was about the second one I talked to. And I said, Mr. Veazey, you going to buy your priority? He was going to retire. Mm-hmm. At that time, I didn't know, but it was 10 months. And he says, no, I'm not going to buy my house. And I said, well, what would you take for the priority on it? And
that was the option to be able to buy it once they were available,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
And he lived in a 3-bedroom flat top. Mm-hmm. Only one that ever lived in it. Hmm. And he was going back to Paris, Tennessee. And anyway, I told him, I says, I'll be up there tonight with my wife. We look at it. Mm-hmm. And we went up there, and she was friendly and all. And so I says, I'll let you know in the morning where we'll take this or not. And after we got out, that's the first thing. He says, you going to buy this house? I said, well, Lord, yeah. And what he wanted was to live there 10 months free. Uh-huh. And if anything happened, he'd be responsible. All I had to do was just have the money ready.
Yeah.
When I bought it.
Oh, okay.
And I think I paid about $2,400 for it.
Where was this?
On Wellington Circle up off of West Tyler Drive.
Oh, okay. And
so I bought this house. No, I lived there Max, how long we lived there? 8 or 10 years?
Oh.
Or longer?
Yeah, probably about 12.
And so I priced it, and my neighbor says, you've got it priced way too cheap.
Yeah.
And so I believe I went up 3,000 or 4,000 and sold it, rented it for a long time, and got tired of fooling with it.
Yeah, sure.
And then I bought another TDU. There's a double unit called TDU, and I paid this guy $350 for his priority. Uh-huh. And I rented it for quite a few years.
Yeah.
He was the first one to pay taxes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was the first one to pay commercial tax.
Is that right?
Yeah.
My goodness. All right. So what is there anything else you want to tell me about your life? I mean, we've been talking about an hour. I know it's hard to get 103 years in an hour, but we're just trying to hit the highlights here. So anything else, into stories you want to tell me?
Oh, I don't guess so. I worked over at UT for 40 years? Basketball and football. I worked the gate in football and basketball.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
While you were here, I mean, while you were doing,
Yeah.
you'd work there on the weekends.
No, just for football and
Oh,
basketball games.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we,
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did they pay you for that?
Oh, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that a little extra there, wasn't it?
Not big money, but it's where you, especially where you enjoy both of them.
Oh, yeah, sure, of
In
course.
basketball, I was right next to the court.
Uh-huh.
In football, gate, as soon as the game started, I could leave.
Yeah.
And I got up there around $40 game,
Yeah.
and they was one or two guys worked down in Kingston. I don't know. I believe Ted Morton worked for a while.
May have. Huh. All right. Well, anything else? Anything you can think of?
Old Ted, his boss, he was up there in engineering, and he went back to school and he come back to work, and he liked some finishing, and they'd let him study each day.
Is that right?
I thought that was awful good in a company to do that.
Yeah.
I guess that's about all I've...
All right. Well, we sure do appreciate it. This is great. It's great to hear some of your stories and about your life. And I'll be honest with you. I think you're the first 103-year-old that I've ever interviewed. Now, I've gotten close, but I think you win, okay?
Did you interview any from K25?
Lots from K25. I sure have.
Do you remember any of them?
Oh, let me think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to go back and look. I've done them from all over.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, hold on. All right, well, let me go ahead and shut this off. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.